This call is being recorded.
Today is the 25th of October 2023. Will Berlinghof is the voice of cosmic awareness, and Callista is energizer and questioner. We have a question from Rob K. Greetings, awareness. Thank you for answering the general questions that are sent in monthly. Can you tell us about the Burning Man annual event? Some say it is good and others say it's a modern Babylon. The Burning Man, an annual event in the desert of Nevada, describes itself as a temporary metropolis dedicated to community, art, self-expression, and self-reliance. What started in 1986 as two friends burning an 8-foot statue on a San Francisco beach has grown quite literally into a statue as tall as 105 feet that is burned down at the end of each event around the summer solstice. Each year, a temporary city is erected. Anyone attending Burning Man, called burners, is expected to be an active participant. Burning Man is a 9-day celebration of art and self-expression and is renowned for its fantastical, massive and ambitious artworks and loud music, dancing, light shows, fancy costumes, and booze, among other things. The festival's other annual grand fixture is the temple, a magnificent structure where burners leave what's been on their minds. The temple is burned on the festival's last night. Many thanks, Rob.
That there is much to say here. For what seems to be on the surface as highly desirable as an experience to be had, the freedom involved, the actual events that allow one to be entertained to the max and partake in that which are the activities is quite a draw for many. And it could be said it is a haven for the old hippies, the new young millennials even, and that which is in between, as a time when one can let loose, shed the inhibitions. It is interesting that what was not mentioned in that which is available, besides dancing and booze and all, was drugs. For drugs also are used in that event, and some hold that this is a highlight of their experience to be able to use these drugs freely and openly. The problem here is that which is the public face, while presenting as well as it does, is not the whole truth of it. That which is the public face is that which is shown to the public, but that which is the inner core of the activities is not shown to the public. Now, there are many events of a nature of the Hollow Man that are out there happening, and without any realization, just as it is so with the Hollow Man, no realization of what might be going under the surface. Yes, please.
Awareness is the Burning Man. The Burning Man.
The Burning Man. The Hollow Man is another connector to it, and this awareness will explain why it was calling it the Hollow Man in a moment. Indeed, this awareness will explain it right now, actually. That all of this stems from pagan tradition, where they had that which was known as the Hollow Man or the Burning Man available to the Dark Ones as part of a celebration of the dark. Rituals were done at the time, and there is a famous book, The Hollow Man, that has been written that captured that which was the intent of those dark-sided alien beings at the time in history when such things were practiced, as not only aliens, but those who practiced the old dark ways. And that the Hollow Man was a ritual that burnt down the Wicca performed this, that was burnt down, often containing an individual, a man, inside who was burnt alive. It has been called the burning man since then, or the hollow man. This is another term, as this awareness was using it a moment ago. But they are basically one and the same. This may explain why this awareness was using the term hollow man instead of burning man, but they are one and the same. Returning then to the explanation of what is going on, that this festival of the burning man is a front, and that most are not aware that they are taking part in rituals that are creating energetics that are being used by ones you would call dark ones, who are practicing the dark way, the burning of an individual. This awareness is not saying that an actual individual is burnt alive at these festivals, but the intent and the energies that are being collected when the many who are there for a good time are collected, if you will, and harvested and used by those who have esoteric dark art or black art skills. And thus it is that they can come together as a collective and have a lot of fun as a group, a mass group, without the majority ever understanding that they are being used. The individuals partaking in the rituals who are expected to partake are being used. The energies are being used. An egregore, as the term is, an egregore is created of individuals coming together with an intent. And this creates energies that are used by those who have other knowledge of things of that nature, dark paths and the black arts, as this awareness has called it. That egregores are created every time people come together in groups, and especially when it is for some kind of focused this awareness was going to say religious intent, focused religious intent, but it does not have to be religious, as the Burning Man is not necessarily modern day religion, but it is the old ways, the old dark ways that some used when at that time they worked with the demonic realm more openly than now. Now it is much more hidden. It is like the Freemasons, for example, who have their public face, and most think the Freemasons are a group of men that do good work and charitable work. But as most of you know, that beyond that which is the public side, when you start going deeper into the order and you go up the grades, up to that level 33rd degree Mason, that there are many things that are introduced that are not known of by those at the bottom of this hierarchical structure. And so it is with the Burning Man. What is also interesting is this year there was an attempt to create much mayhem. There was that which was the flooding of the site, torrential rains coming down, creating big pools of mud. Everything was stuck down. It did get somewhat desperate in that food was getting low, but it is interesting that this event was canceled, if you will, in happening. It did not really happen to the full extent because of all the rain, and that there was some danger involved. That this awareness will say that the energies that tried to block the Burning Man festival were of a nature, positive nature, that wished to bring this festival to an end, for it is understood what and who and were really being involved here, what was at stake here, and who was involved here in this Burning Man festival. But it is seen that it may not continue in the future because it is about to be exposed and other information is starting to come out about this festival and other festivals, such as the Joshua Festival in the deserts there in America. This awareness is not able to completely remember the name of the Joshua Festival. Is that correct, Callista?
The Joshua Tree.
Tree.
Yeah.
Joshua Tree.
Apparently that's a
yes.
place in the desert where people go for conventions and things like that.
Yes, but they also have a gathering every year, do they not?
Yes, apparently they do, yeah.
And what this awareness is saying about it, tying it into the Burning Man Festival, is that there too, other ones are coming together, collecting and feeding upon the energies of a group of beings there to gain knowledge and to find inner understanding, etc. But there are also darker elements to that festival as well. But
and also awareness, I feel that, perhaps we can touch on the aspect that you don't actually have to be there physically. There are people who organise mass meditations throughout the realm. And sometimes you have to be very careful about being involved with those, because that energy can be harvested and used in a different direction completely if the intent is wrong. So
this is important to understand. For example, the egregore that is created through Roman Catholic worship the world over. At any moment on the world somewhere, there is a Roman Catholic or simply Catholic Mass happening somewhere, but especially on Sundays. And there is a group in the Vatican that monitor this and collect the very energies you are talking about, even though they may be thousands away from a church where a Mass is being offered. But they have knowledge of the hidden arts, the dark arts that allow them to leech upon those energies, to steal the energies, even though they are thousands of miles away. And with the question in regard to the burning tree, that it is also so that there are those who are collecting the energies from those who are participating in events. Not all are negative, not all are evil, but there are certainly, like the burning of the man, the hollow man, and the burning of the temple, that have a much deeper connotation that certain ones are tuning into and using. Also, on a bit of a sidetrack, there are times of the year when collecting this energy is more effective than other times of the year. For example, the Burning Man Festival is around the summer solstice, a very high and potent time. But what about Halloween, that which is coming in a few days? That there are many who use Halloween as their holy New Year Eve, and it is dedicated to the darkness and the dark ones. And it is ironic how Halloween, especially in North America, has become very popular over the last 50 years or so. It was not as popular back in the 50s. This would be even longer ago, if you would. That now it has become a huge industry, but there is also the energetics that are created on this evening when the veil is supposed to be the thinnest and the goblins and the ghosts are more prevalent. But what if these goblins and ghosts are actually demonic? What if there are those who know how in their rituals and their ceremonies on the night, hidden in secret places, who are collecting or vampiring the energies of those who are celebrating Halloween, even the children who are celebrating, because it is a night that has been opened to those who are of that dark nature to take advantage of. And therefore, as a general warning, this awareness would say, be aware that there are still many practitioners that practice the old ways, and especially the dark ways. There are those who practice the ways of light as well. But this question has been specific to the burning man and what lies behind it. And it is so that there is more behind than meets the eye. Do you have any last questions for Rob, or is this complete, Calista?
Oh, thank you, Awareness. Yeah, that's it's quite a big topic, and I think we probably just scratched the surface, but it's an opportunity for people to ask more questions if they want to. Thank you.
This awareness agrees with you, and this awareness is complete with this question at this time.